Hey Jim, there's been some buzz about your Stop Trading hit. Let's talk about it.
I had a lot of soul searching. I think people should first recognize that before I went out there on Friday at 247, and a lot of people think they blame me, although stock picker, the reaction is pretty good. They have to understand why I made the call. First, I've been around for a long time. I've traded bonds. I've traded S&L paper that went out of business soon after I helped issue it. I'm friends with a lot of the people in the. I'm friends with the guy who runs the #1 mortgage brokering industry and then corporation, and the #4. And I'm also integrally involved with a lot of the trading desks, given the fact that I've been around and the people who run these trading desks, both equity and bonds, have known me for a long time. So I didn't go on ill-considered. I spent a lot of time trying to I joke about being a statesman on Mad Money, but really kind of, I don't throw chairs anymore. I've been kind of methodical about what I have to talk about. And I found myself thinking, okay, we're in front of a big Fed meeting. I've seen the comments from William Poole. Let me go outside of character for a second and talk about the humanity of the situation. As someone who is a history buff, who spent a lot of time analyzing what happened in the Depression, spent a lot of time analyzing 87 and 1990, I felt that there were people who knew that things were breaking down in the Depression. They knew that the forgotten man was going to be forgotten. There were people who were quite aware of the stress in the system in 1990 and in 1987, and also in 1998, 87, because there were people who recognized that portfolio insurance was a bad thing, so that would help accelerate the decline. And I felt like, well, you know what? I've been around for a long time. I've been talking to all my friends who are much more frightened behind the scenes than they would admit. Why don't I just, let me think about what I want to do here. And I said, maybe this is one of those times where I'll look back and I'll say, I had a platform, I had a pulpit, I had a chance to say something that would have made it so that the 7 million homeowners, whom I think are very much exposed to this problem, 14 million homes were sold in 2005 to 2007. I think half of them got teaser rates, which were suggested, frankly. Alan Greenspan thought they were a good thing. So I said, maybe this is my chance to say what I feel could happen and what should happen. And I'm not going to go back there. I've done that. I made my plea on Friday. And I think there's a lot of people who felt it was ill-considered. The way I look at it is that I want my conscience clean. When, and I think when, not if, things unravel in the way that I've spoken, I don't want to look back and say, you know what, I had a chance to do something, but you know what? I came on instead, and I talked about how Procter & Gamble had a good quarter, why Cabela's was up. So it was more my conscience speaking. And conscience isn't supposed to speak on TV or anywhere else. You're supposed to just be cool and calm. But I kind of wanted to look at the world and say, I spoke up, and I knew, and I spoke up. I'm done speaking up. I'm now going to go back to where I was and talk about how I think there is a good case to be made for Procter & Gamble in this environment. I've done what I had to do. But if things play out, not when things play out, the way that I think they will do, I will be proud of the fact that I said something. And that's why I said what I did on Friday.
And tell it like it is.
Yes.
Jim Cramer, Brittany Umar, you're watching Wall Street Confidential.